Good morning everyone. So we are going to start with the Consumer Protection Act 1986. Today we are proceeding the topic with the next theme, that is consumer redressal machinery. How the consumer can be protected with the help of consumer courts, consumer organizations, the district forums, and the provisions of the government in assessing the rights and responsibilities of a consumer. So first of all, we will discuss the scope of Consumer Protection Act. To protect the rights of consumers, redressal to consumer disputes, applied to all goods and services, covers all the sectors, compensatory in nature. Acts are in addition to and not in derogation of the provisions. Establishment of Protection Council. The Consumer Protection Act 1986 is an act of the Parliament of India enacted in 1986 to protect the interest of consumers in India. It is replaced by the Consumer Protection Act 2019. It is made for the establishment of consumer councils and other authorities for the settlement of consumers' grievances and matters connected therewith it. The Act was passed in Assembly in October 1986 and came into force on December 24, 1986. The statute was on the right side made before Copra Act. Features of Consumer Protection Act. It applies to all goods and services and unfair trade practices unless specifically exempted by the central government. It covers all sectors, whether private, public or cooperative. It provides for establishment of consumer protection councils at the central, state and district levels to promote and protect the rights of consumers, and a three-tier quasi-judicial machinery to deal with the consumer grievances and disputes. Now the question is, what is a three-tier quasi-judicial machinery, popularly known as consumer courts, at the national, state and district levels? It has been set up to render free redressal to the consumer's disputes against any defective goods and deficient services, which include unfair and restrictive trade practices. Under Copra, a three-tier quasi-judicial machinery at district, state and national levels has been set up for redressal of consumer disputes. The district level court deals with the cases involving claims up to 20 lakhs. The state level courts take cases between 20 lakhs to 1 crore. The national level court deals with the cases involving claims exceeding 1 crore. If the case is dismissed at district level court, the consumer can also appeal in state and then in national level courts. Next is voluntary associations and organizations. The primary objective of the CWF is to strengthen the consumer advocacy movement in India. A wide network of voluntary consumer organizations, VCOs, is doing commendable work to raise awareness among consumers, strengthen consumer protection and welfare, and to provide counseling guidance and mediation services. Functions performed by consumer organizations and non-government organizations are as follows. 1. Accelerating consumer awareness, educating consumers. The first priority of a consumer organization is to accelerate consumer awareness towards their rights. To accomplish this task, following efforts are made: to publish brochures, journals and monographs, to arrange conferences, seminars and workshops, to educate consumers to help themselves, to provide special education to women about consumerism, to encourage to follow desirable consumption standards. Next is collecting data on different products and testing them. So, collecting data on different products and testing them, these organizations collect samples of different products from time to time and test them. After that, the results of the test are declared to public. In this way, these organizations provide prior information to consumers about the authenticity of product and protect them. Apart from this, these organizations also work in conducting investigation, research on consumer problems. Third is filing suit on behalf of consumers. Whenever a consumer fails to raise his voice of protest regarding his complaints, these consumers' organizations come to his rescue and file a case in the court. By rendering this service to the consumers get a feeling that they are not alone in their struggle. They also run voluntary complaint centers for the guidance of consumers. Next is organizing protests against adulteration, etc. The consumers' organizations play a significant role in eliminating the evils of adulteration, hoarding, black marketing and underweight selling. Whenever there is an unnecessary rise in the prices of certain things, the consumers' organization raises a voice of protest against it. Consumer organizations prepare films and cassettes related to adulteration in food products, ill effects of medicines and acts related to consumer protection. Many a times exhibitions are arranged to bring awareness among the consumers against spurious and adulterated products. Nowadays, consumer organizations are playing a major role in encouraging consumers to raise their voice against faulty and inferior products. Helping educational institutions. These organizations tell the educational institutions the way to prepare courses of study, keeping in view the interests of the consumers. They stress the fact that a special article on consumers' interest should always be added to the courses on general study. Promoting network of consumer associations. Consumer organizations are trying to grow their numbers. They want to cover all the regions of the country so that consumers of all the regions are benefited by their services. Their effort is to form a federation at the apex level and then through the medium of the federation reach state and district level. Extending support to government. Consumer organizations, by informing the government agencies about adulteration, artificial scarcity, inferior quality products and other such evils, help the government. This in turn helps the government to conduct proceedings in time. In this way, we find that the consumers' organizations play a significant role in providing protection to the consumers. So now we'll talk about the meek customers. Meek customers tend to avoid confrontation and won't make their complaints known at the time. You need to reach out to these customers to solicit the comments and complaints and then do whatever is necessary to address their concerns. Generally, meek customer will not complain, most dangerous to businesses because they will most often complain to others. So, our response here is to work hard at soliciting comments and complaints to act appropriately to correct those problems. 5 common types of restaurant customer complaints: untidiness, dirty tables, utensils and glassware, ill-equipped restrooms and unkempt servers are top customer turn-offs. Next is rudeness. If a server copes an attitude, rushes towards customers through a meal or refers to them by courtesy, names like honey or dear, you will likely hear about it. Audibleness, inattentiveness, noisiness. Next we have aggressive customers. Aggressive customers tend to unreasonable and unpredictable. They can make impossible demands, refuse to acknowledge time frames or accept your process. They may be argumentative, use personal insults or inappropriate comments to get their point across or shout or make threatening gestures. A dissatisfied consumer can file a complaint directly with the National Commission or appeal against the decisions of the State Commission within a month from the date of the order. The court fee is ₹5,000 and the demand draft should be in the name of the Registrar, National Consumer Disputes Redress Commission. In addition, fighting a case in the consumer court consumes both time and money. Earlier, cases in consumer courts used to get resolved in 3 to 6 months. However, nowadays it may take 1 to 3 years. Machinery for settlement of grievances or redressal. Consumer Protection Councils. The interests of consumers are enforced through various authorities set up under the CPA. The Consumer Protection Act provides for the setting up of the Central Consumer Protection Council, the State Consumer Protection Council and the District Forum. First of all, Central Consumer Protection Council. The central government has set up the Central Consumer Protection Council, which consists of the following members: the Minister in charge of Consumer Affairs in the central government, who is its chairman, and other official and non-official members representing varied interests. The Central Council consists of 150 members and its term is 3 years. The council meets as and when necessary, but at least one meeting is held in a year. Next we have State Consumer Protection Council. The State Council consists of the Minister in charge of Consumer Affairs in the state, government who is its chairman, other official and non-official members representing varied interests. The State Council meets as and when necessary, but not less than the 2 meetings must be held every year. redressal machinery under the Act. The CPA provides for a three-tier approach in resolving consumer disputes. So here the CPA provides for a three-tier approach in resolving consumer disputes. So District Forum has a jurisdiction to entertain complaints where the value of goods, services complained against and the compensation claimed is less than rupees 20 lakhs. The State Commission for claims exceeding rupees 20 lakhs but not exceeding rupees 1 crore, and the National Commission for claims exceeding rupees 1 crore. Under the CPA, the state government has to set up a district forum in each district of the state. The government may establish more than one district forum in a district if it deems fit. Each district forum consists of a person who is or who has been or is qualified to be a district judge, who shall be its president. The other two members who shall be persons of integrity and standing and have adequate knowledge or experience of have shown capacity in dealing with problems relating to economics, law, commerce, accountancy, industry, public affairs or administration. One of them shall be a woman. Appointments to the State Commission shall be made by the state government on the recommendation of a selection committee consisting of the President of the State Committee, the Secretary, Law Department of the State and the Secretary in charge of Consumer Affairs. Every member of the District Forum holds office for 5 years or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier, and is not eligible for reappointment. A member may resign by giving notice in writing to the state government, whereupon the vacancy will be filled up by the state government. The District Forum can entertain complaints where the value of goods or services and the compensation, if any. However, in addition to jurisdiction over consumer goods, services valued up to rupees 20 lakhs, the District Forum also may pass orders against traders indulging in unfair trade practices, sale of defective goods or render deficient services, provided the turnover of goods or value of services does not exceed rupees 20 lakhs. A complaint shall be instituted in the District Forum within the local limits of whose jurisdiction the opposite party or the defendant actually and voluntarily resides or carries on business or has a branch office or personally works for gain at the time of institution of the complaint. Any one of the opposite parties where there are more than one actually and voluntarily resides or carries on business or has a branch office or personally works for gain at the time of institution of the complaint, provided that the other opposite parties acquiesce In such institution, the permission of the forum is obtained in respect of such opposite parties or the cause of action arises. State Commission. The Act provides for the establishment of the State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission by the state government in the state by notification. Each state commission shall consist of a person being a judge of High Court appointed by state government, who will also be its president, two other members who will be people of ability, integrity and have enough knowledge, and they must be relating to economics, law, commerce and many more. One of them must be a woman. Every appointment is made by selection committee consisting of the president of the state commission, secretary. Every member of the district forums holds office for 5 years or up to the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier, and is not eligible for reappointment. A member may resign by giving notice in writing to the state government, whereupon the vacancy will be filled by the state government. The state commission can entertain complaints where the value of goods or services and the compensation, if any, exceeds rupees 20 lakhs but does not exceed rupees 1 crore. The state commission also has the jurisdiction to entertain appeal against the orders of any district forum within the state. The state commission also has the power to call for the records and appropriate orders in any consumer dispute which is pending before or has been decided by any district forum within the state. Next is National Commission. The central government provides for the establishment of National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. National Commission shall consist of a judge of the Supreme Court appointed by central government, who will be its president, 4 other members, and one of the members shall be a woman. Appointments shall be made by central government by a selection committee consisting of a judge of Supreme Court nominated by Chief Justice of India, Secretary, Department of Legal Affairs and Secretary in charge of Consumer Affairs in the Government of India. Every member of National Commission holds office for a term of 5 years and up to 70 years of age, whichever is earlier. National Commission shall have jurisdiction to entertain complaints where the value of goods and services exceeds rupees 1 crore, to entertain appeals against the orders of any state commission, to call for the records, to pass appropriate orders, and if anyone has failed to exercise a jurisdiction and has acted in the exercise of its jurisdiction illegally or with material irregularity. Next is aggrieved consumer. An example of someone who is aggrieved in legal terms is a person who has not read his Miranda rights upon interest. Upon arrest, these Miranda rights are defined for an aggrieved consumer, someone who is distressed. An example of someone who is aggrieved is a mother worrying about her sick child. Aggrieved means someone being harmed or treated poorly. What are your Miranda rights? The Miranda warning from the US Supreme Court's Miranda versus Arizona decision requires that officers let you know of certain facts after your arrest before questioning you. An officer who is going to interrogate you must convey to you that You have the right to remain silent. If you do say anything, it can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have a lawyer present during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you if you so desire. When the Miranda warning is required. It doesn't matter whether an interrogation occurs in a jail, at the scene of a crime, on a busy downtown street, or the middle of an open field. If a person is in custody, deprived of his or her freedom of action in any significant way, the police must read the Miranda rights if they want to ask questions and use the answers as evidence in a trial. If someone is not in police custody, no Miranda warning is required and anything the person says can be used in the trial. Police officers often avoid arresting people and make it clear to them they are free to go. They don't have to give the Miranda warning. Now, remedies or reliefs available to an aggrieved consumer. Under this act, the remedies available to consumers are as follows. First is removal of defects. If after proper testing the product proves to be defective, then the remove its defects order can be passed by the authority concerned. Replacement of goods. Orders can be passed to replace the defective product by a new non-defective product of the same type. Refund of price. Orders can be passed to refund the price made by the complainant of the product. Award of compensation. If because of the negligence of the seller a consumer suffers physical or any other loss, then compensation for that loss can be demanded for. Under this act, the remedies like removal of defects, then replacement of goods, refund of price, award of compensation is passed and is done for the protection of the aggrieved consumer. Removal of deficiency in service. If there is any deficiency in delivery of service, then orders can be passed to remove that deficiency. For example, if an insurance company makes unnecessary delay in giving final touch to the claim, then under this act, orders can be passed to immediately finalize the claim. Discontinuance of unfair restrictive trade practice. If a complaint is filed against unfair or restrictive trade practice, then under the act for that practice can be banned with the immediate effect. For example, if a gas company makes it compulsory for a consumer to buy gas stove with the gas connection, then this type of restrictive trade practice can be checked with immediate effect. Stopping the sale of hazardous goods, that is dangerous or harmful products. Sale of such products can be proved risky for the life and should be stopped. So, this was all about the different redressal mechanism provided in consumer protection. Read the pages of your book. Do follow the given link for better clarity of the concept. Also answer the questions: what is grievance redressal machinery? What is consumer redressal process? What are the different types of consumer redressal forums? How complaints are redressed under the Consumer Protection Act 1986? What are the types of grievances? Thank you.